Hello everybody and welcome back to Studio 99. I'm Siddharth. So I've made a video on my Zeiss icon earlier and I've been dying to shoot with this camera. But where I am in Bangalore, 120 film is not easy to come by and it's even harder to have it processed. So I was wondering if I could shoot with this lens on my DSLR. I wouldn't want to tamper with this very camera, but luckily I found a similar lens. I think I'll be able to shoot with this. Now, while Zeiss made their own lenses called the Tessar, they also used these, which are called the Nova Anastigmat. Now, this came with a Prontor SVS shutter. It has its own focusing mechanism, and it's a 75mm lens. So, what I've done here is I've used a Nikon to M42 adapter for the bayonet, and I've added M42 extension rings on top, into which this lens easily fits, and I've just taped it. Now this is a 75mm lens, which was somewhat of a normal lens on a 120 format. On a full frame sensor, the 75mm would have the effect of a tele lens. So I'm wondering what sort of portraits I could shoot with this. Now of course, apart from this very nominal focusing, I don't have the exact 70mm or 65mm or whatever was required. I was limited by the width of the extension rings. I've tried various combinations of rings and this one was close to about 70mm. So in other words, I will not be able to focus. I will not be able to focus with the barrel itself, but I will be able to focus by physically moving the camera closer or further away. If you don't already know, how focusing works is, the closer that your subject is, the further the lens has to come out of the lens barrel in order to focus. For infinity, the lens has to be at its focal length. Now, with this particular arrangement, I couldn't get the exact focal length. So it's a little more than the focal length, which means the lens will shoot close-ups. And of course I will have to move the camera closer and away to the subject to focus. Now the DSLR that I have, which is the Nikon D610, of course it has a inbuilt light meter which works with manual lenses, so which means this lens would give me a light reading from my Nikon. That's great. I can't wait to see how this lens performs, although it has a lot of scratches on it. I've left it open at f5.6. I'd like to see what kind of bokeh it makes, what kind of portraits it shoots, some close-ups, some outdoors in natural light, maybe some indoors. Can't wait to try it out. So this is a 75mm Nova Anastigmat lens, the kind which came with the Zeiss icon top. A lot of scratches and blemishes inside, but anyway, the lens is wide open. So it's left wide open. As you can see, it has a flash sync as well, but we don't need to use that. So this is a 75mm lens, and I noticed it just fits into the extension rings of the M42 mount, and I have a M42 to Nikon bayonet adapter. So using the right combination of these rings, we could get this lens somewhat in focus to shoot portraits. We probably won't get infinity, but it just might work well for portraits. Let's have a look at the live view. Okay, this close-up is very close. So let's remove one of the rings. Now it should focus further. Let's just measure these actually. So it's a 75 mm lens, right? Which is about that much. And the sensor is around here. So to get infinity, we would need just about that much. To shoot portraits, about that much should do. I think it should do. No, it's focusing beyond infinity right now. So here it's right on the barrel of the extension rings, and even infinity is not in focus unless I bring it out a little. So it needs to be longer. We have no option but to use this. Okay, and I don't want to glue this into the extension rings, so I'll just use Scotch tape for now. It shouldn't hurt the lens. It's a good fit, so there won't be any light leak. Last piece. Okay, no chance of the lens falling out now. And the good thing is the Nikon TTL still works. You see it here. Let's move live view to still. Yeah, you have the TTL working here. Just giving me 1/13th of a second. I need at least 1/30. Pump up the ISO. That should work. Okay, let's try it out.